Okay. Let's see. All right, let's start it up. The Bottom Line Bombs on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is presented by WynnBET. WynnBET is now live in Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Tennessee, and Virginia. From boosted same-game parlays to live in-game odds, WynnBET has what you need to win. Sign up today. Bet $100, get $100 free at sportsgamblingpodcast.com. WynnBET /WynnBET. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com /WYNNBET. Straight restrictions apply. I'm really taking my time with this one. I don't know why. Well, because I'm excited about the new come on in, Ryan. I'm just doing a pre-roll there. Yeah, it's a cup of coffee. It's all hectic here during the holidays. The holiday bombage. That was the man, Ryan Kramer, coming in, leaving his coffee, helping me out with the bomb sound effect. I have a very high-tech show. I have a bomb sound effect. And we gotta get the headphones around my huge head. That takes usually a 4-man crew, but Ryan handled that by himself today. But also, I'm excited about. We're also brought to you by our mini helmet contest. The SGP mini helmets are now in the store, and we're giving one away for free. Just go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com /helmet. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com /helmet. And football bingo is back. This time for the NFL Christmas Day slate. Free to play, and every bingo gets a $100 SGPN gift card exclusively on the SGPN app. That's exciting. Good stuff for Christmas that the boys Sean and Ron are bringing up to. Anyway, let's start it up. Hit the song for the holiday Bottom Line Bombs. That was a little too exciting for me. I got too excited. We didn't even start the show, but welcome to the Bottom Line Bombs holiday show. I am CJ Sullivan, your host, bringing you 5 picks each week with bits, picks with bits for the Circa contest. We'll use them Circa point spreads that came out on Thursday morning on Twitter. We also used to do a Survivor, but that's long gone. It's just like our $1 million contests are called. But anyway, it's picks with bits. It's holiday. We'll have a little Christmas flair today. If you're watching on YouTube, the live stream, go ahead and comment and come on in. Be a part of it. I used to hate when people would comment, but now, you know what? At least it does some writing for me. I don't care. But if you're listening on the platforms, welcome as well. Like and subscribe. Write reviews, too. I was supposed to push that. 5-star reviews, good reviews. Actually, I don't even care if you write bad reviews. Just listen. I don't give a shit. So, yes, that's the show. There's the last quarter. There's still a couple weeks left to go in this quarter. 3 more weeks. We can do something, although last week we hit a hitch. We went 2 and 3. All momentum we had from the week before, we just lost it. We hit the Dolphins. That was a big winner. No one else had that. Miami over Buffalo. Why? Because we believed in the bit. And that's what we do. We would do picks with bits. And the bit was, everyone said Miami was going to be able to handle the cold. Well, no one can handle the cold. They just deal with it. Miami's no different than Buffalo. The players, at least. The people that live there, for sure. But the players are no different. So we thought Miami was going to show up big, and they did. They covered. They didn't win, but they covered. That's all that matters. Our losses were not great. So that was the problem. We believed in a bit with Miami, and then we did not believe in it with the Colts Minnesota game. We took Minnesota, who won. Sure, they won with the greatest comeback in NFL history, down 33-0, and they won in overtime. I don't know why they were happy. They didn't cover the spread, and that's all that matters. I mean, come on. How do you not score a touchdown in overtime? They punted the ball. At least they should have tied the game. But the point is, the bit was, as Bill Cruz comes in with a hi. Hello, Bill Cruz. Welcome to the Bottom Line Bombs holiday show. The bit was, as I was doing a tribute to Mike Leach last week, my tribute was by using the mascots to pick it, the Vikings versus the horses, Colts. Mike Leach would always go with the horse there. In my bit, trigger warning. Since Bill Cruz criticized me last week for giving a trigger warning and then talking about horse rape, because Vikings, the way they fought battles is by raping and pillaging, and I broke down how you can't rape a horse because a horse allows you. If you're having sex with a horse, it's letting you. So I should have listened to the pick there and gone with the Colts because you can't rape a horse. It was right there, but I didn't believe in the bit. So that was my bad. And yes, you can give a trigger warning and still talk about horse rape, Bill Cruz. Especially since Trigger was the name of the horse, like Method Man. I got a 6-shooter and a horse named Trigger. I don't know what the next line was, but I can imagine what Method Man rhymed Trigger with. Something that a nice Irishman like me can't say on a microphone. Anyway, let's get into the bottom line. So we lost to the Colts. The other loss we had was Tampa Bay. That's a good, famous "That's All" segment. That's my favorite segment. That's all. That's all it took for us to lose. In retrospect, it's easy. How could you pick Tampa Bay? They're terrible, but it was a great spot for them. They're up 17-0 on the Bengals, and then they freaked out because they couldn't believe they were ahead. Like, what are we doing? How do we do this? How do we do this with a lead? So they corrected that immediately by turning the ball over 4 times in 5 possessions, 5 straight possessions in the third. It was an amazing freak out by the Bucs to blow that lead. They weren't even like, it wasn't even like the Bengals were doing anything. Tampa Bay was just like throwing them the ball. Like Brady with the hand off the Fournette just like whipped it at his stomach. Like, how do you do this? I don't know how to do handoffs. You don't know how to do handoffs. No, I'm losing my mind. I'm fucking 55. Then afterwards, they love telling you the stats. Like, that's Tom Brady was 173-1 when he's up 17 in his career. Those stats only come out after they lose just to rub it in your face. I don't want to hear these stats. They're made up. Oh, really? That's great. So I was a part of history. That's fun. I can't wait to tell my grandkids the historical loss I had betting on Tom Brady. Course of the Lone Ranger, Bill Cruz also was Trigger. Yeah, I know that's where Method Man. I know Method Man didn't create that. He sampled it from Lone Ranger. Trigger is a famous horse name. Good horse name, by the way, Trigger. Cruz also says that his hand is unbalanced from wearing one less ring. How about that other turnover they had? How about they do? They ran a fake punt up 17-3, but they forgot to tell Giovanni Bernard that there was going to be a fake punt, which is pretty important since he was the guy getting the ball. I like that. They're like, hey, let's run a fake punt, but don't tell the running back. We'll even fake him out. Let's fake everybody out. Let's fake our own team out. So they snapped the ball right and hit him right in the face mask. They fumbled. Cincinnati gets it and scores. Then the press goes to talk to Giovanni Bernard, Gio Bernard afterwards, and he had. If you haven't seen it, look it up. The Gio Bernard press conference. It's not even a press conference. It's him in the locker room. He's got that look in his eyes, like what? Whoa, what's all this about? Like he did something wrong, when he knows he did something wrong. He's like, well, you guys aren't. How come you guys haven't talked to me all? That's what he said. How come you guys haven't talked to me all year? Now you want to talk to me since I messed up? And reporters like going back to him because you sucked all year. What are you talking about? You've been hurt. You don't play. Finally, something involved you and you blew it. That's why. Okay. But I got kids outside. Does that make you feel more bad for me? No. You should probably want to stay here. So it was a whole thing. It's pretty funny. That's my "That's All" segment for Tampa Bay. My other loss was the Jets. The Jets wasn't my fault either because this, as you know, the bottom line bombs here. Happens on Thursday. I recorded on Thursday. You might be hearing it on Friday or the rest of the weekend. Live right now on YouTube. And so I have to give out the picks a little early sometimes, and things happen between Thursday and game time. And I gave out the Jets over to Detroit. And as soon as I wrapped up the show, submitted the picks to my man Vegas Andy, the proxy, because I also enter these picks into the contest. It sound like I just throw these out there willy-nilly. My money's behind this. Money by money, I mean I entered the contest for $1,000 that bought me a hat because I'm not going to win any money. But I still enter the picks. You can check them out. CJ Bombs on if you want to go to the website. It's not a good record. It's pretty bloody. But as soon as I give out all the picks, the Jets announce, oh, by the way, don't know if this affects your handicapping at all, but Mike White's not going to play. Instead, we're going to play the biggest bust since Ryan Leaf, Stacy's mom himself, Zach Wilson. Does that change anything? It does. Well, too late because you already made your pick. And that's what happened. I made not that I would have switched over to Detroit. I'm not saying that, but I certainly would not have backed Zach Wilson. I would not have backed the Jets. I would have picked a different game. They play tonight. Zach Wilson goes at it again tonight. It's a weird game. You gotta like Jacksonville, but the way the Jets are and all the sharps are on Jets, I don't care. I gave out Jacksonville as a play on the Greg Peterson experience on VSiN this week in Vegas. If anyone, I was in the newsletter today. Forgot I did it. I just don't like these Jets anymore. I think the shine is running off that Robert Saleh or whatever his name is, that coach. Everyone loved him. He's this meathead who does these dumb meathead like sayings all year, and we put up with it because they were doing things like, oh, I want to keep receipts. When people talking trash about the Jets, I'm keeping receipts. Yeah, okay. Well, that's a CVS long receipt. Okay, because the Jets were always been bad. Then after they lost to the Bills, we're gonna see him again. Don't you worry about. We're gonna see the Bills again. And then all the reporters are like, I like when reporters, just like the Geo, like, are we supposed to be laughing? What do you mean you're gonna see him again on TV? Because you're not gonna see him live in the playoffs. And then this week, he's back. He starts defending Zach Wilson by yelling at the media. Something that he created. He fired it. Everyone's like. He's like, everyone hates Zach Wilson. We get it. You have to play him because the other guy's hurt. We understand that too. But don't yell at us like we're wrong for trashing him. You told us to trash him. You benched him. And he's like, he had some quote like, in this instant coffee world, we want instant gratification. Instant coffee? What are you, 85? And he's not. That's such a coach thing to say. Like not even binge TV or whatever. Not even using TikTok as an example. In this instant coffee world, what are you, like a French drip? See, Dan Campbell for Detroit, he can do those meathead idiot sayings like bite your kneecaps and quote Metallica because he was a player. So the players don't mind it. They're like, he's probably concussed. We'll be like that someday too. So don't make fun of grandpa. But Robert Saleh, he's just one of those, weight coach, the fucking strength coach asshole guys. Anyway, so I'm not bitter at all though about that quarterback switch after I made my pick, not at all, because it's the holidays. It's the holidays and the bottom line bombs. So get ready, get a Yuletide, scoop up by the fire. Get a disgusting nog drink if you want, and I'm going to read it to an ad read. When we come back, I want to give out 5 new bottom line bombs for week 16 into Christmas games and a man in the box Christmas segment, of course. And I say Christmas, he's libtard. We'll get into that. They shoot you if you say Christmas. No, they don't. No one cares. Anyway, let's go back to WynnBET, the official online sports book of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. WynnBET is active in a bunch of states, and there are tons of ways to win, including live betting and same-game parlays. Plus, for the gens only, hashtag, try your luck at WynnBET Parlay Wheel. What's more fun than a parlay wheel? Anything? No. There's great promos, odds, payouts that are happening right now. WynnBET, ready to play. Sign up today to receive a special offer. Bet $100, win $100. Limit the state availability. So much to choose from. All you got to do is head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBET so they know we sent you. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bet today. Offer is subject to change. Terms and conditions at wynnbet.com. Must be 21 or older and present in the state where play through WynnBET is available. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, and I'm talking to you, you have one. You have a gambling problem. You are listening to the Bottom Line Bombs on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. You call 1-800-522-4700. And that'll fix that right up. Those Secret Santa line. I'm about to say to you, like I said, who cares if you have a problem? Doesn't mean not all problems need solved. If you give out gifts like scratch cards, your nephews and nieces, like I do, like Uncle Degenerate Siege, Uncle Seagenerate. I'm the Seagenerate, by the way. That's my tout name, the Seagenerate. It's pretty good, right? Gens. Unprofessional drink of Starbucks coffee, as Ken Barnard wants me to switch off since it gets me too hyper. I do feel kind of hyper here in the holidays. Anyway, all right, let's start the show. Let's start these holiday shows. This is exciting. We're going to start off first game Cincinnati, New England. Line is -3. That's actually come down. Bengals, New England. New England, hilarious. Hilarious loss last week. We were on the Raiders, and we won in the most miracle way possible. Everyone knows the funniest. It was literally the funniest way you could lose a game. The Patriots did that lateral shit at the end when the game was tied. Threw it right to the Raider guy who ran in for a touchdown. People couldn't believe it. You had to watch it a couple times. Like, what were they losing? Why were they doing this? No, they were tied. Side note, the Raiders tying touchdown, the guy was not in bounds, but whatever. Who cares? Thank God, because it was fun. Bill Cruz says those white elephant people talk about a gambling problem. No shit. Anyway, so the Patriots, what's fun about the Patriots are Patriots are bad for a couple reasons, but the main reason is they're dumb. They're a dumb football team. And that's what's got to be killing Bill Belichick the most. Because he's always been known for being the smartest coach, because he was one of those first non-player coaches, you know? And like, that was basically his advantage. Yeah, I just wasn't a player. My brain isn't injured, and I know basic math and game theory. But now that everyone knows that, he's really not as smart. So now everyone's just dumb. And then he did the dumbest thing a coach ever did. He got Mike Patricia calling his plays. He'd never called plays before, and now he has his like I said last week, his play call sheet's like a Tecmo Bowl. Fucking 4 options. Super Tecmo Bowl got 8 options. That's when he really opens it up. 4 runs, 4 pass. They're all swing ones, and just pick the Mark Bavaro play, so it always works. But you don't have Bo Jackson back there on excellent condition. So the Patriots are dumb. And that dumb lateral play was literally the dumbest play in maybe the history of football. And thank God it happened. Hopefully this will kill that lateral play at the end of the games when they do that. Because that lateral play, usually it's when you're down, last ditch effort, they start pitching it around, then the other team gets it and scores a touchdown and covers the spread. That play only existed to torture gamblers. It only hurt gamblers, and it was never for you. It was always against you. So this play needed to die. And now that it had real life implications where a team actually lost an actual game, before it was just a joke, like a blooper reel. But now someone got hurt. Okay. Someone shot an eye out. So this thing needs to and it's because people did it and that never works. Like maybe it would work once in a while. But it's because that fucking Stanford Cal band play that they love playing, because listen, we all love watching a tuba player get trampled by a football player. We love watching, you know, this dumb tree hugging band of Stanford roaming cluelessly on the field, getting annihilated by football players. It's fun. We get it. That's why they keep showing it, even though the guy's knee was down halfway through it. But because of that, these teams still do it because they want to recreate it and get the one time that it worked. It was the only time it worked since then. I don't even blame, like, there's a lot of, you can tell how afraid they are of Belichick, too. Jacoby Myers, if you didn't say it, you know, they pitch it to him, Jacoby Myers throws it across the field right to the Raider guy who destroyed the quarterback and ran in for a touchdown. And they're like, did someone tell you to do that, Jacoby? Jacoby Myers. He's like, no, I went rogue. Like he was like a Marine, who went AWOL. He doesn't want to get anyone. She was terrified of Belichick. I don't even blame Myers. It was Rashawn Stevenson. They handed it off like they're giving it up. And then he pitched it to Myers. So Myers all of a sudden gets the ball. He didn't know. He thought they were going to overtime, which there should be. Next thing he has the ball, he's like, oh, we're doing this? I didn't know we're doing this. All right. Well, if we're doing this, fuck it. He throws it. He launches the ball across the field. And hopefully to Mac Jones, the quarterback, what's he going to do with the ball, first of all? What do you think? He's going to run 80 yards? He's the fucking slow white quarterback. Did you see him try to tackle? Right to Chandler Jones, who was loafing on the play, by the way. Shout out to Chandler Jones, who scored the game-winning touchdown and scoring one for all the slackers and loafers. You know, he's doing no pursuit. I'm saying, the ball comes to him. So now we have something. What the hell are you doing back there? Well, just in case the guy freaks out and throws me the ball, coach. You got to have someone on that duty, don't you? And then Mac Jones, also terrified of Belichick, trying to take accountability. He goes, I should have made the tackle. What? Made the tackle. That's when all the reporters again, like, do we laugh out loud? They laughed in his face. Made the tackle. You're already a meme, buddy. Have you seen yourself? You weren't making that tackle. His brother's John Jones. He's the baddest fucking guy on the planet. You weren't tackling. You were tackling that guy. A 300-pound defensive end. It was a perfect meme. It's already been made. You even waited for it. So anyway, so now the Bengals coming to town. It's going to be cold. It's going to be terrible conditions. So normally I actually would go with New England here because it's a good spot for New England. The Bengals just had that. They didn't look good versus Tampa Bay until that third quarter when Tampa Bay freaked out. But the Bengals do have something to play for. If they win, they're in the playoffs. And it's going to come down to New England being dumb. Maybe they bring their rain shoes to a snow game. I don't know. It's going to be bad. But we're going to go with Cincinnati -3 for our first holiday stupid bomb of the week. All right. Now we're going to next game, Tennessee versus Houston in Nashville. We're going from Bill Belichick, the dumb coach, to this is the team. Bill Belichick, like I said, hates the team that he has there with the Patriots because they're so dumb. Now, if he wanted a team that he's jealous of, it's this team, is Tennessee. Tennessee, the line's 3.5 versus Houston. Houston, an awful football team with Lovie Smith, but they have shown some life the last couple of weeks. They almost they went to overtime versus Kansas City. They should have beat Dallas the week before. Now they're going to Nashville. And the line's only 3.5. Why? Because Ryan Tannehill is out for the year. Okay. Is that a good or bad? Why is that even a thing? Why are people panicking on that? Because the line was 6, now it came down to 3.5. It's because, and I think Malik Willis, the rookie from Liberty, who they drafted, but they're terrified of letting him throw the ball. So this is the team Bill Belichick wishes they were coaching because they just don't throw the ball. They're like a military academy. They run a wishbone with Malik Willis out there. With Tannehill, they have to throw the ball at least a couple times, even though he's not good at it. Malik Willis, they don't even let him. They just tie his arm to his body, like, here, glue this ball to you, hand it off to Derrick Henry, or run yourself. Just run. They should just put another tackle in there. The last time, matter of fact, Malik Willis played Houston the first time, he threw the ball 3 times. If Patricia's offense is Tecmo Bowl, the 8 plays, Tennessee, Tannehill, their 10-yard fight, that game, where it's just your quarterback and a back to the left and the right of you, and you go left with the guitar, you go left or you go right, and they follow you like ants, like on a line, and you could just keep pitching it back to each other, left, right, center. I love 10-yard fight. That was a game. Anyway. Yeah, it reminds me of like a Pop Warner football. Like when you had you put your best athlete at quarterback. If you can throw the ball, that's great. We're not going to let you throw it. But just show us in practice that you're capable of throwing the ball 20 yards. Which you can because he has a great arm. But just run the ball. 3rd and 20, we're running a reverse. That'll trick them. I remember a freshman year of high school, freshman team, we ran the ball and our Pop Warner coach was like 130 pounds, whatever. And just a sigh in the huddle. Can we throw the ball? Our quarterback can throw it. We don't care. Like, all right, let's see if we're on our toes. We run 634 ISO. 634 ISO. 6 means the tight end was on the right side. 4 was the hole. The right hole, I think. I forget whatever. Not a very complicated offense. But we ran it every fucking time. Just a handoff, student body right, basically. And then he goes, all right, let's see if they're on their toes, what a coach said to us. See if they're on their toes. We're going to run 534 ISO. Meaning we're going to run it to the weak side. And we're all like, oh, God. How about a pass? Would that work? It could work in theory, sure. But we're going to put the tight end on the other side. See how they react to that. They reacted just fine. They shut it down. Then we did a quick kick. There was nothing more deflating than when the quarterback would call the quick kick in the huddle. And that's teams that can't throw the ball call quick kick. That's when your quarterback just punts the ball on third down. You know what? Fuck it. We don't even want to run a third down play. We're going to fool you by punting the ball while you don't have a returner back there. Yeah, but we're still giving them the ball, right, coach? Yeah, we're giving them the ball, but they can't run with it for this play until the next play. Then they'll be able to run with it fine. So we're really tricking them. Quick kicks. Just call it quick kick on what? Just call it on first down at that point. So we got Pop Warner Titans, Mike Vrabel, Derrick Henry. I mean, I don't know if you're into props, but I imagine that Derrick Henry's props going to be 150 yards versus Houston. Houston can't stop the run. This is only going to work versus Houston. So after this, we're going to fade Tennessee because they don't like to throw the ball. But versus Houston, this is the perfect game for Malik Willis and Derrick Henry for these guys to do because Houston just can't stop the run. They knew this all year. So the 10-yard fight teams, quick kick, 633 ISO. Tie Malik Willis's right arm to his body, and we're going to detonate this bomb. Tennessee minus 3.5 is our second bomb of the week. Bomb it! That was quick. I'm trying to quicken up my analysis a little bit with the picks and bits. Not that I'm reacting to the review that I got. A couple reviews, 1-star reviews of how I just blab. Which, by the way, I don't know if you listen to podcasts before reviewer. But that's what podcasts are. People blabbing. But people like for me to get to the picks. But then people want the bits too. Picks and the bits. Stuff. I got to do what I got to do. That can only be me. And right now, I'm going to unprofessionally drink some coffee. Yeah. Who am I? CJ Sullivan, the comic who does picks with bits. Speaking of which, I was out in Vegas the last couple of days, and I did a spot on VSiN, the Greg Peterson Experience, Hoops. I want to give a shout out to him for putting me on. I gave out some bold picks. I gave out Liberty, who covered yesterday, by the way. I have Air Force tonight, speaking of which. I mean, this one text. So the producer of the show, he's like, hey, what credits you want for the show? CJ Sullivan, Bottom Line Bombs, on the Sports Gaming Podcast Network. I go, yeah, that's good too. And I don't know, I was just trying to help him out. I go, if you want, you can, tell him I'm a comedian. That's not necessary, but if you want something fun. This is a text he sent me back. Pretty hilarious. He goes, cool, which is never great. Cool. Being a comedian is wonderful and admirable. Just not useful information to our audience. We can push me your Twitter handle though. So safe travels. See you tonight. I was driving out there. Being a comedian is wonderful and admirable, but we don't give a fuck, and neither does our audience. And I loved it. I love being insulted and complimented at the same time. I sound like my parents when I told them I was going to be a comedian. I did that by just leaving home, never coming back. Anyway, shout out to them and a great show. It worked out fine. So I'm trying to speed up the analysis part of the bits and just get right into it. As I say that, we're only halfway through. And welcome, everyone comes into to the YouTubers. Mainly just Bill Cruz. It's okay. Next game, let's get into it. Pittsburgh versus Oakland. This line is 2.5. This is at night, I believe. Christmas Eve night, or maybe it's Christmas night. Christmas Eve night, I think. Doesn't matter. It's going to be great. It's going to be a primetime game in Pittsburgh. This thing could not have matched up better story-wise for this game because they're two bad teams, but they're historical teams. Steelers and Raiders have historical games. So much, though, it is the 50th anniversary of the Immaculate Reception. Probably the most iconic play in the NFL history, where the Steelers won their first playoff game actually before they became the dynasty in the 70s. Where the ball hit the guy and whatever. And Franco Harris caught the ball off the ground pretty much and ran in for a touchdown. Immaculate Reception. Very famous play. The most famous play, I'd say. And luck would have it, Franco Harris died this week. And by luck, I mean, I think the NFL killed him to pipe up this game. Now, that's not true. But RIP to the legend, Franco Harris, Steeler legend. I went to school in Pittsburgh. I mean, he's a god there. He had some problematic language when it came to supporting Joe Paterno, but I won't no need to bring that up the week the man just passed. I don't like stepping on a man's grave. Everyone loved Franco Harris. Great football player, great Steeler. And they're There's a statue of Franco Harris in the Pittsburgh airport doing the Immaculate Reception next to George Washington. No one even gives a fuck about this. Just like George Washington, all these other things. People take selfies with this Franco Harris statue. It's weird. He's looking up at you. It's great. People are like, oh, it's symbolic. And it's not symbolic. It's just it's symbolic of Pittsburgh and how they are. Terrible Towels will be at half mast this weekend, and all the gold flowers will be embraced. God, Pittsburgh. I mean, this is like the Pope dying. Franco Harris for fucking Pittsburgh. The Terrible Towels and Carper and Franco. R.I.P. Franco. Yeah, that play. You ever see NFL Films talk about it? This is like the NFL Films game. So I think NFL Films might have actually killed Franco Harris. The footage is weird. Like, there's no real footage of it. It happens. R.I.P. Franco. The ball hits, and then they cut to like a close up of Franco's like eyes, and then you never see if it hits the ground. And then they say there's only the Raiders complain about it. They say there's some rule where your offensive player can't hit the ball, then the other guy can't catch it. I don't even. This seems so made up. But there's that one guy's like, yeah, and then the refs talked to security, and no one knew what was going on. And I heard what he said. He goes, how many security guys can I get here? Only 5. Well, then 6 for Pittsburgh. NFL Films are hilarious. Yeah, R.I.P. Franco. Terrible Towels at half mast, Ken Barnard. He's Franco. That statue. That's why I know him in Pittsburgh. When he get a Permanis and a Franco Harris statue next to George Washington. People put their Permanis on top of George Washington as they take their selfies with the Franco Harris. Pardon me for the cough. NFL film. This is why it is the NFL Films game. Because Immaculate Reception is the pinnacle of it. And the Raiders and Steelers just always play those 70s NFL Films games where it's slow motion and John Facenda doing, the autumn wind, the voice of God. I also always love the team diaries on NFL Films. That's my favorite thing. They recap your season. They do it before every year. They still do it. The team diaries to get you excited about the new season. So to recap last season's, whatever they do one for every team, and it doesn't matter if you won 3 games. They'll make you look like you were the champions. You had the heart of a champion. That's what they'll say. They've used the title "Heart of a Champion" for like 100 different 100 different teams. They might not have won a real championship, but Jacksonville had the heart of a champion. I'll say that. Tony Baselli or Walter. Seattle had a heart of a champion, not an actual championship. That they gave to the Steelers, but Seattle. They make it so dramatic. I remember one. It was like I'll watch any of them. I don't care. I love them all because they put in 22 minutes of commercials and it looks amazing. They shoot it on film, NFL Films. They do incredible work. It was a Seahawk highlight. I remember it was like mid 2000s, whatever. And they go, there are 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and positive yards when you run behind tackle Walter Jones. And he does a dramatic pause. Florida State pro. I remember that's what my dad told me when I told him I was going to leave the house and drive out to LA and give out bottom line bombs each week for my life's work. Says, son, it's going to be a rocky road out there. Remember, life's not easy, and there are only 3 certainties in life: die, you're going to die soon. Taxes, you got to pay tax. Even if you don't file taxes, you're paying them through other things. Anytime you buy anything, you're paying taxes. And if you need 3 yards, go behind Walter Jones. He's a monster from Florida State. It's easy 3 yards. You can fall down for 3 yards behind Walter Jones. Thanks, Dad. I don't know how it's going to help me, but here I am using that information right now. If your team is really bad, they'll go into the kickers, and they had the best kickers. The great holder, John Carney. NFL Films, they used to always do a year, not only just a year craft, they used to own, I mean, at least they used to own my video market. I would rent at West Coast Video. They would have like Looney Tune bloopers and shit. Like, I used to love the NFL blooper videos, and they'd have like a blah, 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 like, they'd have like Looney Tunes, like Bugs Bunny. Like, hey, Doc, who do you got over there? Whoop! And then some Archie Manning fumble. Lastly, there's that one point. Well, who's got 43? Who's got 72? Well, sucker tash. Here's a brain injury. Then they'd show some guy getting just blown up. With a concussion. And count down the biggest Chuck Bednarik murderers. I don't know what I'm talking about now. What I said, I was trying to shorten these things up. Anyway, Franco, R.I.P. Franco. At night, they're retiring his number. They're going to do this beforehand. There's no, he's either not dead or NFL Films and had him die. That statue. Imagine going to the airport to put gold flowers around the statue of Franco. I can. Anyway, we're going to do a Permane bomb. Pittsburgh -2.5 over the Raiders. The Raiders, you just got your lateral play. You don't need this. But you have to fill the role. The holy roller thing, the 70s, all that bullshit. But for Station Square, then we're going to have a little memorial service down to Station Square. We're going to go down to the Strip District and go to Mario's, Fat Mario's on the south side. Pittsburgh -2, bomb it. 2.5, I'm sorry. That is to Ken Barnard, who is a Steelers fan for Pittsburgh. I like this. They got it. They have to win it. They don't have to. Actually, that'd be funny if they did lose that game. Lose it for Franco. Franco Harris is way superior than Rocky Bleier, by the way. But Rocky Bleier, I mean, come on. A Vietnam vet who got his fucking foot blown off. He's our hero. Like, he ran for 1,000 yards. He was actually not that good. But don't say that in a fucking, don't say that in a bar in the south side of Pittsburgh to any white. They will murder you. All right, next game, Denver and the Rams. Why is this game even happening? And why am I talking about it? This is a great game for me. Denver's line is -3. It was 1. I liked it much better at 1. This is a game like, why is this happening? Denver versus LA. This is Christmas in LA, which is bad. Christmas in LA sucks. I like it because everyone leaves. LA is just not good for cold weather holidays. You know, they do think they're not a Thanksgiving holiday. They're not a Christmas holiday. They're a Halloween holiday. Los Angeles, you do Halloween great. You got freaks out here anyway. You do costume designs. You make the movies. You do the horror things. You should do Halloween great. And you do Halloween great. You got to tip your cap. But when I do cold weather shit, it just seems so fake and just ridiculous. It just seems terrible. Pitts bomb it, says Ken Barnard. That's pretty funny. So Christmas in LA, and then there's always people out here who try to make it happen with the cheer. And it's just, there's no, you don't get the weather. See, I'm wearing a scarf right now and the hat, if you can see online, and it's just fake. I'm wearing this as a prop. It's an insult to the rest of the world and country who right now, the rest of America, who's going through a winter disaster right now. It's just, I mean, it's falling apart how horrible this freeze is, except for in LA, where it's like 50 here. Berzers. Although we do know that 50 degrees in Los Angeles is the coldest place in the world, because it goes from 80 to 50. I need a heat lamp if you want to dine outside. So here comes Russell Wilson back. For some reason, he's coming back. We thought he was gone. We thought he was out of our lives this year. But he's back. Why? Because he wants us to celebrate Christmas in LA. He's going to have the fake snow and the sweaters and, God. The rest of the country's dealing with real shit. It's like that. It just seems so clueless. It's like that Christmas song. You remember that Christmas song? Do they know it's Christmas time? And when all the celebrities try to raise money for Africa with that tone deaf fucking, they rebooted it too. Still so tone deaf. Do they know it's Jesus Christ's birthday in Africa? I don't think they do. If you listen to it, it sounds patronizing. It sounds like they're making fun of Africa, really. They don't even know it's Christmas, these fucking idiots. They can't grow anything down there. Like, Jesus. They don't. Why? Do they even know about their Lord and Jesus Christ, white Jesus? Do they know about him? Let's make a record. Do they know it? We'll talk some bad Christmas songs a little bit. If you have good and bad Christmas songs in movies, Christmas songs are hilarious. There's because everyone has to do them. Now they're redoing them. There's another one at LA, like the LA does like a woke Christmas out here too. Their whole Christmas, it's just so, it just doesn't, it's not a natural fit. A woke Christmas. Awake and a woke Christmas. Like when they redid that, speaking of redoing songs, that Baby It's Cold Outside, that's a very problematic song. Everyone agrees with that. Like when the guy's just basically trying to force this woman to stay in his house because it's cold. That's cold. Don't go anywhere. Have another drink. You know, it's kind of, that doesn't hold up. But it's a charming song a little bit, you know? Rape charm. Charm rape. I said the R word a lot. It comes up. What can I say? I'm picking NFL games. It's going to come up. But remember they redid it because it's really problematic. But just leave it at that. Just some things can be problematic, but so what? You don't have to redo it. They redid it with the duet. It's a duet, and it's a great song as a song. Who did it? It was John Legend and Kelly Clarkson, and it was like, I need to go home. And he's like, baby, it's cold outside, you know. And he forces her, but she goes, I need to go home. And then they redid it. And John Legend's like, okay, that sounds good. I'll call you an Uber. He's on his way. He's got 5 stars. His name's Marcel. He might have a criminal past. I don't know if this is a safe thing to do either. Good song. John Legend, baby, it's woke outside. Text me when you get home. He even says that. He's just like, here's an Uber, text you when you get home. Here's some aspirin. Then they should do a song afterwards. After she goes home and he's fine with it. Then he calls over another side chick to come over because he's John Legend. Or jerked off the porn. Because now I got blue balls. That's a blue Christmas. Got a blue balls Christmas. Without you. Is that what Elvis was saying? So that's what that's what Denver's doing out here in Los Angeles. They're doing the LA Christmas, the woke Christmas, and the Rams who just can't do it. Rams can't do Christmas. Baker Mayfield, he can't believe he can't believe he has to do another game on TV. He's like, I came out to LA. He came out to LA. He won a fun game versus the Raiders on Thursday night with 2 days of practice. Hey, this is fun. Maybe I'll get back into acting, do some commercials, you know? Then he had to go to Green Bay on a Monday night last week. He's like, oh God, I forgot acting's actually work. You have to go show up at set like at 5 a.m. for makeup and hair. And it was a long days. It's not just sitting on my trailer. This is not fun at all. And now he's got to do his 3rd game in a row on TV. Now he's like, why are all these games on TV? Why? I thought the Rams were bad. Stop showing me. I'm bad too. That's not his fault. The Rams have no team whatsoever. The NFL's Randy Newman, Bill Cruz says. Bill Cruz done for Denver Bronco fan. Talk about Russ? Randy Newman. Speaking of charity songs, remember that was my. For Katrina, he just rewrote a song. It goes, I love LA, the state. That was my old bit. So yeah, Baker's just like a down. He's like in the bad Santa mode to Billy Bob Thornton. Like, just leave me alone. Why are we doing this? Fine, I'll put the friggin' Santa hat on for the promos, but good God. Let Russ is excited for this. Russ has got the fake snow and he's baking cookies. He's doing the whole thing. I just want to get drunk and sit in a corner. You guys open up your gifts. Leave me alone. And listen to some terrible, terrible Christmas songs. So we're going to do Denver minus 3. How did I get them? Why am I picking I picked Denver so many times this year. It's disgusting. They keep fooling me. I can't quit you, Russ. I love them. Anyway, he's so corny. He's gonna spread that Christmas cheer in LA, even if it's 70 degrees. So Denver -3, bomb it. Another call, Bill Cruz says, so many Rams aren't playing, they're doing a cattle call for extras on the team. That's a SAG bit for you listeners out there, not familiar with the business. The Rams do have a heart of a champion. A lot of hearts of champions this year in the NFL. A lot of horrible football teams. All right, so let's see. Come on. Let's recap real quick. We got one more bomb to give out. We've given out Cincinnati -3, Tennessee 3.5, Pittsburgh -2.5, Denver -3. A lot of short favorites. We got to get a dog in here. And that's what we're going to do with the other LA team, Chargers versus the Colts. Monday night, line is 4.5. The Chargers are favored. This is the day after Christmas, which is always a weird day, 26. You're like, you're still full from food, but you're also a little hungover. And then there's this gifts and shit, and you want to throw stuff back. Like, okay, do I return this? How do I, the day after Christmas is always, it's got a lot of mixed feelings of kill me. And then you got that little lame duck week before New Year's, you got to do. Do I have to work? I can take this off. And you still got family hanging around, but now family's getting annoying. Now we're doing activities. Some psychos want to go to the mall and return things. What are you, fucking out of your mind? I don't want to go to a mall ever, let alone those days. So then you watch Christmas movies. That's the week of Christmas movies, the day afterwards. And this is the perfect Christmas movie. The Indianapolis Colts are the Christmas movies. Jeff Saturday, moron coach. He's not a moron, but he's a moron coach because he's never coached before. He's a moron. Why not? He's a typical Christmas movie lead, the bumbling idiot who's on a fumble Christmas, but then pulls through at the end. That's every Christmas movie. There's going to be no Christmas. Wait a minute. Now there is. Yo! I think Jon Stewart had a joke about that. But that's every Christmas movie. No Christmas. Wait a minute. Miracle. Yes, there is Christmas. And here come the Colts. The Colts, everything looks terrible for them. They just blew the biggest lead in NFL history. 33-0. How could people possibly back Jeff Saturday? Then he's visited by the ghost of Christmas NFL future bets. You say, wait a minute, don't jump off that bridge Saturday. You can just blame Matt Ryan. Everyone will believe that story because he blew that Super Bowl, even though it wasn't his fault either. That was the Falcons coaching for not running the ball. I can? Will people buy it? Sure, they'll buy it. We hate Matt Ryan now. Put in Big Dick St. Nick Foles. And that's what he did. He benched Matt Ryan for the second time this year. Matt Ryan's been benched. He was benched by Frank Reich, who just got fired for that. Saturday brings him back in. And he's like, oh, maybe the other coach was right. You are terrible now, Matt Ryan. Get out of here. So we're going to bring in Nick Foles. And he's going to come save the day. Nick Foles is a perfect Christmas savior, too. He'll give you the one game, but he won't give you anything else. He's not gonna ride a year out. Bring him in week 16 is perfect. That's when Nick Foles gets loose. That's what he did for the Eagles. He came in week 16. All right, now I'll get things going. Perfect Christmas movie. Die Hard is a Christmas movie. That's tired. People love talking about that on Twitter. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Yes. No, it's not. It's not a Christmas. To answer that question, let's just answer that the old hot dog a sandwich question. Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. And the reason why you know that is because it's not fucking terrible. It's a good movie. Die Hard's a great movie. You can watch it every time it's on. Christmas movies are all terrible. They're horrible. Whatever happened to Argyle? How did he not get a goddamn gig after Die Hard? Everyone else got gigs. Let alone Bruce. I mean, everyone got gigs. He's the fucking principal from Breakfast Club and Hans and everyone got gigs except for Argyle. Argyle was great. We can't get him a shot with Guy Torrey or some fucking car wash movie or some shit. Bad Santa's great, Kyle Boland said. No, yeah, Bad Santa's pretty solid. Also not a Christmas movie. That's an alcoholic. That's like Leaving Las Vegas. No, it's definitely a Christmas movie. I mean, when I'm talking about Christmas movie, people say Home Alone too. Home Alone's fine. People online like to make fun of the parents, say the worst thing they did is make them eat pizza with milk. They made the kids eat pizza with milk. I mean, I think Macaulay Culkin should have been in jail for fucking attempted murder, for God's sakes. I think he overreacted. Joe Pesci just wants to steal a TV. You got 12 of them in your mansion. This guy's setting up rat traps and fucking murder. You know, you'd kill this guy. You can't murder these people for. Yeah. Stand your ground, Macaulay. Kevin. Yeah, no, Bad Santa's great. It's a bit weird. I like it. What I like, Bad Santa's good, but I just don't like what it creates. The spinning off. I'll give you a hot take of Christmas movies. It's unpopular opinion. I agree, Bad Santa's good. I don't like what it spawned off. The bad this, the bad that, the genres, the bad. But the bad words is actually underrated. Jason Bateman spelling bee one. Bad teacher. I hate all that bullshit though. Well, I'll say for Man in the Box, my hot take for Christmas movie. I don't get too into Christmas movies. The good one, the bad ones, the known bad ones, you know, whatever. They always make these grand entrances and doorways too. Like, the front door is always blasting wide open with bells ringing, and they're holding a tree under their arm. Hey, bringing cheer! Look at this. Neighbors are barging in with fruit cakes and shit. Everyone's barging into the front door. Does anyone fucking knock around here? That's what I'd be yelling. That's me, Russell Wilson. Does anyone knock around here? It's Christmas. You're breaking an entry. Big robust entrances. Cabo says it's the Nirvana of bad movies. That's the problem. Nirvana, great band, great. But anytime anything's great, like even of an era, it spawns off the worst shit ever. That makes it not worth the good stuff that happened. Like Nirvana does not make, because of the Goo Goo Dolls. There's blood on. There's blood on Courtney Love's hands to begin with for murdering Kurt. But now there's blood because of goddamn Third Eye Blind on Billy Corgan's. Just kidding. I don't think Courtney Love murdered Kurt Cobain. There's a documentary. How can people just make a documentary accusing someone of murder because they don't like Courtney Love? Like, whatever your opinion of Courtney Love is, you can just say she murdered her husband. Jesus Christ. Guy was on heroin and he always talked about killing himself. Of course, Kurt Cobain killed himself. That's what he said he was going to do. Did you not listen to his songs? Anyway. Did I give out that pick yet? Yeah, let's do it. Indianapolis plus 4.5, grand entrance, Jeff Saturday in the Christmas movie to save all Christmases. I hope they lose, but I hope they cover. And I think they will. Plus 4.5. The Chargers never blow out teams, especially teams that are. I wouldn't be surprised they lose this game. And I like the Chargers. Anyway, Indianapolis Colts plus 4.5. Bomb it. And let's go into the box. Here we are. As you see, the hat and the scarf. I had to cut my Santa hat, by the way. I'll keep it shake because it doesn't fit these grocery store ones. All right, real quick. The 5 bombs were Cincinnati Bengals -3, Tennessee -3.5, Pittsburgh -2.5, Denver -3, Colts plus 4.5. I think those are solid plays. This would be a Christmas miracle if I go 5-0. Oh boy. Big Dick St. Nick Foles coming to the rescue for Indianapolis there. Now let's do it tomorrow. So Christmas movies. Yeah, I talked about welcome to the Man in the Box and welcome everyone coming in late. No problem. Bill Cruz, Kyle Bolin. What's he saying? Because suburban white kids need a voice of their generations. That needed a voice of their generation. They did need a voice. Kurt Cobain was their voice. There's angst. Cruz. Hispanic Cruz for us whites. You don't get it. You don't get how us whites have angst. Cruz. Suburban angst is real. Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with having a voice for suburban angst, but what it created. That's guy I was saying. With those bands, those fucking good lord. Ugh. Some of them still get respect, like Train and those. Whatever. Good for them. I don't want the world to see me. That song came on my ride back from Vegas. We really got into it. Anyway, Christmas movies. What did we talk about? Oh, my hot take on Christmas movies while we're into it. Since we're in the box, locked in the Christmas box. Christmas Vacation, Chevy Chase, terrible movie. I know it's a beloved classic. It's terrible. We need to start looking back with real judgment on these things. These were not good movies. You're just nostalgic. That's all you are. Randy Quaid. He's great in it. He's Randy Quaid. He's amazing. Shitter's full. It's got good scenes. I'm not saying it doesn't have good scenes, obviously, but it's a horrible movie. That sledding scene, it's brutal. That was another thing. The genre. You want to talk about Bad Santas and Nirvana of the bad movies? Vacation was the Pearl Jam or whatever of the Vacation franchise. You know, Vacation, the original Vacation, amazing. One of the best comedies of all time. It's fucking great. Chevy Chase is great in it. I know he's an asshole now and everyone hates him, but Chevy Chase was amazing. I'm absolutely amazing. Superstar. Then European Vacation, come on, okay, not as good. Now the writing's on the wall. This might get bad. This whole vacation thing might get bad. They're going to keep doing this, aren't they? They're going to need to keep making money. So they do Christmas Vacation, and people love it because it's Christmassy, but what do you really like? Yeah, we like the characters. We like Christmas, but it's I mean, there's just dick jokes. It's the fucking tree. They changed the kids. What? Juliette Lewis, and all of a sudden, I mean, that's when they're like, okay, they're gonna send this for money. You're just gonna replace these kids because Anthony Michael Hall wanted a couple extra bucks. No, we need a kid younger to get on the roof from the lights and the whole. Then there's Vegas Vacation. Are they still making whatever? They're just brutal now. They're just a nightmare. But Christmas Vacation is one of those things that get caught up. You think it's great. It's not. It's not great. Christmas Story, good. They remade. Did they make a sequel to that? Who gives a why the fuck would you make a sequel to Christmas Story? And it's a reboot. I don't want to see what Ralphie is as an adult. I don't care. He's like, just be friends with Vince Vaughn or whatever you do, Billingsley. That's all you need. We don't need to. I don't care about your kids. I didn't watch it, but just everything's such a damn money grab. So they play songs. I was listening to some Christmas songs here on the way. I mentioned the Christmas songs. Everyone has to do them. So it's weird when they do their own genre of it. I don't mind if you just cover a Christmas song. So I don't know. It gets dicey when you do your original Christmas songs. Like Bruce Springsteen doing Santa Claus Coming to Town. He does it in a Brucey way where he's talking to the crowd. Hey, Claire's gonna get you a saxophone. There's some good bad Christmas songs out there. What's your least favorite Christmas song? Put it in the comments. Anytime they get into the dogs barking jingle bells, what the fuck is that? Cats meowing, Silent Night. What the hell is wrong with some of these? That's a problem. When you get into Christmas, the deep world of Christmas, it's just people that are crazy. The whole sweater vibe is crazy. You get crazy, and you get cat people. Dogs barking jingle bells. You do get fun collaborations. You ever hear the Drummer Boy collaboration of Busta Rhymes and Justin Bieber? That's a good one. Justin Bieber was like 16, so he gets a pass. But Busta Rhymes, you know better, for God's sakes. Bieber rapped in it. Something about the Bible. It's amazing. You should look it up. I'd play it here, but we don't have the rights to it. Chase Bentley says McCartney. Yeah, listen, Paul McCartney, Having a Christmas Time. Is that what it is? Every Beatles Christmas song was horrible. Having a Christmas Time. Paul McCartney just said, like he is Jingle Bell. And you feel like he wrote it on a napkin on the way to the studio. Like it's the most just happiest, dumb, lucky thing. Although the Beatles, it's better than John Lennon's solo, though. I will say this about McCartney's. It's unlistenable, right? I will say Paul McCartney's and Beatles is brutal. But John Lennon's solo was worse, I think, because I think the ones try to make it serious. Like, this is like it's about war and shit. Stop telling me about this. I want to think about serious shit for the Christmas songs. So this is Christmas. Let's hope there's no fear. The war is over. Calm the fuck down, John Lennon. Just trying to have some eggnog here, okay? No, open up some rock, sock, and robots. You got kids screaming, without any fear. All right, John. You know what, John? Just sit this one out. There's plenty of time for this terror. Kyle Bolin says, serious take. Nobody beats Chris Isaac's Christmas albums. Nobody. Yeah, he's good. He knows the formula. There's a formula to it. It's about long-term relationships. Just wanting you, luring up. You don't have to slut it up. Some of these Christmas songs got slutty. Jesus. Little room to the imagination. You ever hear Bon Jovi's Backdoor Santa? Something like, I think it's called Backdoor Santa. It was something awful. Yeah, Backdoor Santa. I'm your Backdoor Santa. What the fuck, Bon Jovi? You talking about anal sex? Jesus, it's Christmas. That's why the Mariah Carey, I mean, you can hate the Mariah Carey all you want because they played so much, but it's a banger. It's a hit. Talking about All You Want Is You. And it's good. She's good. She doesn't slut it up. She sluts it up around the year, but not there. You know, she knows what she's doing. My favorite, least of the worst Christmas songs, speaking of taking it seriously, of John Lennon, John Denver, who is hilarious to me. He's such a fucking fraud. But he makes some good songs. He's got a song called Please Daddy, Don't Get Drunk This Christmas. It's hard to believe, but it's true. Look it up. John Denver, Please Daddy, Don't Get Drunk This Christmas. And you think he'd be talking about himself or not? No, it's John Denver singing as an 8-year-old John Denver, a little 8-year-old, whatever his real name is. His real name is not John Denver, I'll tell you that. He's not from Denver. He's not from West Virginia. He ain't from the Rocky Mountains. He's from fucking Burbank. He's made in a studio somewhere. He's a fucking fraud. Anyway, please daddy, don't get. And he plays an 8-year-old complaining about daddy coming home drunk for Christmas. And he listens to the song. All he does is pass out by the tree. Relax, Johnny. It's Christmas. Your dad fucking worked for these gifts he's giving you. Don't be drunk and pass out by the tree. He could beat the shit out of you like a normal drunk dad would do back in the fucking 70s. You got off easy. You got off easy, John. That's why you can sing about eagles and Rocky Mountains and all the fucking pussy shit you like to fucking power. Henry Duschendorf. That's hilarious. Is that his real name, Henry Duschendorf? It probably is. Yeah, there's a lot of people are giving ideas for New Kids on the Block, Funky Christmas. Yep, that's it. That's a class. That's a bad Christmas song, but the New Kids on the Block are bad though. That I don't even count that because of course all their songs are bad, you know. Although that is some of the worst white rapping you'll ever hear. Grandma Got Ran Over a Reindeer. That's a classic though. Classic bit. Problem with those Grandma Got Ran Over by a Reindeer is once the joke's over with, you're done with the song. Okay, I got it. Right. That's got that. That's got like that Southern comedy, like you know your Larry the Cable Guy kind of comedy, which there's room for. I'm not against it. You know was it Rick Stevens or what was it Steve? The guy who does his mixtapes and shit. Like, you know, you're talking Basque. And there's a room for dad humor in Christmas. You don't know what to get dad. Let's get him a fish that sings, you know? Think your grandma got ran over the reindeer. Christmas and Holidays, Queen's top 5. Yeah, I don't mind. I like the Run DMC Christmas song because you do what you do. You do Run DMC. That's why I guess I shouldn't be mad at Bon Jovi for Back to. That's what the Bon Jovi was talking about. They was talking about sex. Anyway, that's we could do this all day. Oh, Jesus Christ, right now we're 5. All right. Well, we're gonna wish everyone a Merry Christmas here and a Happy Holidays. Thank Ray Stevens. Thank you, Billy Cruz. I don't want to get that wrong. Ray Stevens mixtapes and prank tapes and Ernest goes to jail. That kind of comedy is what I'm trying to talk about. That's what Grandma Got Run Over the Reindeer is. Your Verns, you know. I'm not saying it's bad, but the gag gets old soon. That's all. For everyone who has kids, here's a little tip. What my parents used to do. Label all the awful gifts like socks from Santa and anything good like a Nintendo. That comes from mom and dad, you know? That way your kids like you and they don't like Santa so much. You don't want Santa giving the good gifts. Have them give the shit. How old was when you stopped learning? You know what I stopped when I stopped realizing when I realized there was no Santa Claus? Speaking of slutting up Santa and the songs and slutty Santas and hotlines, there used to be people think about phone sex now. There used to be hotlines for everything. There used to be hotlines that called to get football scores before the internet and shit. You'd call a 976 number to find out who won the Hawaii Bowl game. Anyway, when I was a kid, there was a 976 Santa line. You would call to talk to Santa and tell him what you want. It's obviously a scam. But I picked it up as a kid and called it. And I talked to Santa. And then my dad got a bill and realized it cost, 99 cents a minute or whatever it was. He found out how much it cost. And that's the day I learned there's no Santa Claus. That's how he told me to stop calling. There's no fucking Santa Claus. Stop calling. All right. Thank you, Dad. And here we are. Me in a box talking about Bottom Line Bobs. Anyway, I'm CJ Sullivan. Thanks, guys. That's going to do it for the holiday show. Follow me on Instagram. CJ Sullivan Was Taken. Other podcast, Blackout Diaries with Sean Flannery. Listen to that one as well. We're doing a Christmas special episode, actually, where we talk about when Mark Vanna took down the Christmas tree at our holiday building party at Nokatami Towers. It's going to be a great episode with Adam Burke. Listen to that. Follow along. Do all that stuff. Thank you for everyone. Thanks for putting me up. Veasan, giving a shout out to Veasan, putting me on their show out there in Las Vegas. But Vegas does Christmas better than LA. I'll say that. LA can't do Christmas. Vegas is like, all right, what's Christmas? Gaudy, obnoxious lights? Yeah, we can do that. We can handle that. We do that all year. Say to show these absurd Christmas lights. It's hilarious. It's cheesy. It's trashy. I say downtown at the Circa. On Fremont Street. I love Fremont Street. It's the Walmart of Vegas. It's just drunk. Speaking of Ray Stevens and white trash comedy. Oh, I love Fremont. I love downtown. I can't do the Strip. I went to the Bellagio. I keep going because I'm a man in a box. Bellagio does these amazing Christmas decorations every year. And I went by on my way home. I drove home yesterday. Like, I'll stop by Bellagio, take a look at it. And I did. And it's very impressive. It's packed, though. I didn't like it. Parking free for less than an hour, no problem. I handled that in 15 minutes. But I saw the most amazing thing after. So I'm looking at these Bellagio decorations. They're great. Then they had a tip box. Hey, help keep this free with a tip box at the Bellagio. Go fuck yourself, Bellagio. I'm really getting a man in a box. I mean, you need more of my money? I got a tip for you. How about have less than a $50 minimum table on a Tuesday night for blackjack? These guys have $15 million Picassos as trays at the buffet. You want tip money for your decorations? Jesus. Anyway, Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy holidays. Do whatever it is you guys celebrate. And let's get some parlays, and may all the bets be with you this holiday season. Thank you, and good night. Play that techno music.